This question was, what should a person's blood pressure readings be, and should it be different with different ages and sexes? Well, you know what? Personally, I think if I look at a healthy body, no matter what age, really, I'm looking at 120/60. Of course, as you get older, you're going to get more kidney failure, but then we rebuild those, and then they go back to normal blood pressures. So a normal, healthy blood pressure, spot on, is textbook, is 120/60. Both arms. Anything below 120 is low blood pressure, that's your adrenal glands. And anything above, say 75/80, you're starting to the kidneys are starting to back up themselves. And you can have kidney filtration problems and still maintain a 60 to 75 diastolic and still lose your kidney's ability to filter. It's only when the kidneys themselves start breaking down that, or start losing, get highly inflamed or acidic themselves, or the lymph system within the kidneys themselves start having serious problems. That's when you see your creatinine start going up to 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, and you also see your blood pressure start climbing. The diastolic influences the systolic a lot, so I never pay much attention to the systolic. That's the cardiac punch, but I really look at the diastolic, and that's your kidneys. And so 120/60. When you start getting below 100, most women have had hysterectomies, are certainly heading that way. That's the adrenals. By the time you're at 100 or below, your steroids are involved too. When we're looking at the systolic blood pressure, we're looking at your neurotransmitters, which is the medulla of the adrenals. So that's the inner core of the adrenals. The medulla is the inner core of your organs and things, or glands, and they generally produce different substances than the cortex, which is the outer portion. The cortex is steroids, cortical type steroids. At least not most of them anyway. Yeah, this is the one. Mark, yeah, I'll do my best to do that for you. I keep the spiritual out of it, because I do want the people to be able to look at this and look at these videos and go with them with the health side of this. The question was here from Eagle 99001 about leukemia. Leukemia is probably one of your easiest cancers to get rid of. And I'm going to say it not as a disease, so medical doctors won't have a fit. Whenever you have cells breaking down in the blood, can we call leukemia that? You want to look at your bone marrow, and of course that's going to be a problem with the lymph system again. Most leukemias are actually caused by the lymph system indirectly, and we're looking at spleen. We want to rebuild the spleen. When you start seeing platelets, red blood cells drop, even your white blood cells, you're going to be looking at spleen or the bone marrow. There are Chinese formulas for the bone marrow. My Ultimate Immune is for the bone marrow. I do have a spleen formula. If you can find a spleen formula out there, use it, for those that think I'm pushing my formulas. I would also clean the liver up. I have a blood formula, and someone out there might have a blood formula. I made that blood formula for leukemias, for energizing and cleaning up the blood, but you want to go to the liver. But now wait a minute. What would be wrong with the liver, the spleen, and the bone marrow if they're starting to have problems? What could possibly cause this? Well, you're going back to your lymphatic system again. You're going back to the lymph system, which you're going back to the kidneys and adrenals. There you find your iron or your hemoglobin. Here you find a lot of things in the adrenals. Now, there are leukemias from chemicals. I remember 3 firemen in town got into a chemical fire, and all 3 got leukemia. And one had died. One was a real good friend of mine. I'd known him from the hospital because they come in the ER all the time. And then the other one, I didn't know much of him, but I knew he was pretty bad. Well, the one that was my friend was real bad. He was in a wheelchair and real bad. So I got a hold of him and I said, "Get your butt in here." So I got him up. I've got him walking. He got his energy coming back. His blood work was looking great. His oncologist was so mad that he put so much fear in his wife that his wife made him stop coming to see me. And the last thing we heard was that he passed away. I hope his wife is happy. You know, I hope his wife's happy, because that's the kind of thing that's bad. So what do you think about that in the you reap what you sow, Christians? I wonder what Jesus would think about that. You know, how does Spirit balance things out? But anyway, that's a sad case. But leukemia, real easy. And I showed you this little girl the other day with leukemia, childhood leukemia, a very easy leukemia for people to deal with. But then they gave her extreme chemo. Now I don't know what age they gave her chemo. Somewhere around 8 probably. Gave her heavy duty amounts of chemo. Now I just, you know, I won't go there, but that's just so bad. So she died, of course, but in a very bad way. And I have a picture of her mother and her friend there with her, and her mother's trying to smile and be happy, and so the girl will be happy. And my heart just, that kills me. That just kills me when we can save these kids. But maybe it's not meant to be. You know what I mean? You have to look at God in those ways, I suppose. But leukemia, get on a raw diet and lots of fruits, berries, and melons. Fruits and berries and melons are the best for the blood there is. Fruits and berries in particular revitalize the blood. If you want greens, okay, then get your alfalfas and your barleys and your wheatgrasses if you want. Your spinaches, okay. Get beets, clean the liver, heavy beet juice, a lot of parsley, a lot of cilantro. Yeah, you could do some greens and pump that blood as well. Liquid chlorophyll, can't beat it. But also the flavonoid-rich fruits and berries, tons of blueberries, blackberries, tons of dark grapes, and you'll be okay. Clean that blood up. Go after your bone marrow. I don't know what your blood work looks like here, but too much chemotherapy causes leukemia. You know, I've seen a lot of chemo just literally tear down the spleen. Well, bye-bye platelets, red blood cells, you know. And then, of course, it's going to tear down the bone marrow, too. Chemo's going to tear down all the body. There's nothing rebuilding about it. Wouldn't you think in today's world the idea would be rebuilding, regeneration, instead of adding to deterioration? Doesn't make sense, does it? So it's just, you guys are really getting, I'm really proud of all of you. I really am. You have an appointment with me on the 19th. Well, you hit all that. Now, you also, now this is interesting, you also had a kidney removed and an enlarged prostate. Well, you're going to have an enlarged prostate when your kidneys are failing, because the prostate's just a bunch of cells and 2 fluids. And, of course, the lymph system, when the kidneys fail, the lymph system's going to back up in the prostate, just like it is all through the body. And now you're seeing enlarged prostate. But you only have 1 kidney left, and then you have the skin, which is your largest kidney. So you really want to sweat a lot, and you got to get this 1 kidney back in a state of health, my friend. So I'd be working on that kidney, and no proteins. That'd be the worst thing you could do for this leukemia and kidneys like that. 1 kidney, protein, that'd acidify the blood. Oh, that wouldn't be good. And then the kidney gets beat up on protein, so you wouldn't want to do any dairies, any proteins, anything like that. Hit your fruits, berries, and melons, and some greens and green juices, and pull yourself back out of this. I'll talk to you on the 19th there, Eagle. Thank you for all your comments. All your comments. BRIXGIN. Thanks for all your comments, guys. I love you all. I do. It's been a lot of years. More on this leukemia again here, same thing. So, I mean, get what you got left back into a state of health, and you'll be okay, my friend. You know what? You'll be okay. You get focused. You get on this journey. Don't wait. Start now. I know you probably are with the diet. Start now. Get motivated. Get moving on this. have the clinic set you up with some herbs and get moving on this. Don't wait. I don't wait when it's cancer. There's no waiting at all. Loves cartoon. I don't know. I don't follow Doug Graham's 80-10-10. I never even read it. I don't read other people's works anymore, honey. I don't follow the calorie thinking. But if you want to, it's up to you. The news the other night, they're discovering that the lower the calorie diet, the better now. And I think someone addressed this, whether it was JG or whoever, but when you're looking at fruits and you're looking at raw foods, you're not looking at calories, you're looking at magnetic energies, and you're looking at chemistry. And it is such a different look into health that you don't worry about calories, because the amount of nutrition and energy you're consuming. Remember, there's breatharians out there. There was this little yoga guy that was in the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times. And every day he took 2 ounces of water, a shot glass full of water, swished it around in his mouth and spit it out. That was it. And so I wanted to attempt that. That's why I went on oranges for 6 months. I wanted to attempt that level. I got to all oranges, but I thought as you breathe in nitrogen, that's your proteins. You breathe in carbon, that's your carbon you need for ATP. Your oxygen and carbon's right there anyway. You breathe in your hydrogen, you breathe in your fats, and that you can get, and then of course spirit. I mean, you're hooking to the highest. Matter of fact, to physicists, it's all energy anyway. Chemistry's, way down the line. And chemistry's just, remember, electromagnetic frequencies of energy. So if you're consuming energy, aren't you consuming chemistry? So really, I mean, there's a lot of levels to think about this. There's been a lot of incredible thinkers. Maybe someday I'll go through a lot of books here and go with you, but whatever you can get a hold in, some of these older books they have in the pharmacy, I've got them in here for a reason. And there's a book company you can order a ton of books from, and you can ask Brenda about that company, but it's Health Research. They've been around a long time. They used to have volumes and volumes of old spiritual books, all kinds, and health books you could, rare books and herb books. I'm super impressed with that company. I think it's kind of cut down because of the lack of knowledge of that company to people. And health food stores, most of them have lousy health book sections. A few of the contemporary books, people that don't have a clue about detox. I remember there was a detoxification book at this New Age bookstore. They didn't carry mine. This is a local one. They didn't carry mine, but they carried this medical doctor's detox book. And when I got it, I was just laughing at the ridiculousness of what she was saying. And it was like, that's too bad, So it's this health research has got an incredible amount of books. But you've got some incredible thinkers there that get into magnetics over chemistry. And a lot of you guys are energy healers, Reiki and Qigong, and you get a lot of energy work here. And so a lot of you spiritual people are understanding that spirit or the prana or the life force is where it's at. And so when you start getting into these higher levels of thinking, things like calories and isolates like vitamins and minerals and amino acids, those things just kind of fall away. They have no substance anymore because you're consuming, and you can consume as much as you want. It's not, did I get my 2,000 calories in today? I'll have some of this fresh made onion bread. Jennifer made that. She likes to dehydrate a lot of things.